how's it going out there to everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day. It's weekly recap time. Let's talk about weekly recap. I do one of these for every week I operate this truck. And for the weeks I don't, I'll just tell you I didn't. But we'll go over the numbers. Nothing to hide here. This is what it is. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. I don't put these numbers out to brag. It's just for comparison purposes. If you want to be an owner-operator, these are the numbers you could achieve if you work, hard at it like I do, and you put in the time and the effort to do things efficiently. These are some general outline of how, things could go. Now, my weeks consist of most of the time going to Minnesota, out and back. I don't talk about the carrier I'm leased to. I get a lot of questions about that. And also, they're an 80-20 split carrier, so I get 80% to the truck, and I pull their trailer for, that's in the 20%. So no trailer fees on that. Like I said, I like to build my business. I've worked at this over time to get it where I just go out, back. I take some time off. I'm not a road warrior anymore. No more weeks on the road at a time for me. Just doesn't suit me in my lifestyle anymore. But let's go over these numbers. So I've had, and this is from early to mid-August 2022. In case you're watching this in the future, smash that like button for me. Thank you very much. So this week is a full 7-day week. Left on a Monday, come back, delivered on a Monday, and that's what we do. So let's get to these loads. So my first load was 2 pick, 2 drop, 2 picks in Minnesota, 1 drop in Maryland, 1 drop in Virginia. Negative 10 degrees. That load weighed 30,000 pounds. A good chunk of that came off at the first stop, so I ran pretty light, but I had to go on down into Virginia. 30,000 pounds, negative 10, 54 empty miles, 1487 on the loaded miles on that for 1541 all miles. That load paid $6,500. So that was a good one. Trying to get into more of those right now, let me tell you. Second load, I came all the way back up to Maryland, 217 miles of Deadhead. The way I look at it, and this is how I structure my business. I know a lot of guys, they say, oh my God, 200 miles of Deadhead. I don't care, because here's the way I look at it. I'm coming back to Minnesota one way or another. You know what I mean? I've deadheaded 1,300 miles to get back to Minnesota. It's just what I do, I try to make the most money possible, but sometimes finding a load out of the city you're in ain't the best way to make money. Because I'm coming back to Minnesota, I can search all the way along that route. And I'll be honest with you, if a load out of freaking, if I'm in Virginia and a load out of Chicago pays more than a load out of Virginia back to Minneapolis, I'm driving all the way to Chicago to get it. Because honestly, the more empty miles I can operate doing this, now normally operating a bunch of empty miles is not profitable, but at this time and in this stage in the game, I can do that. I got a very fuel efficient operation. I got a paid off equipment, and I have to pay ifta on those miles, and I have to pay maintenance on those miles. And other than that, we riding. That's the way I look at it. Very, very little fuel I have to put in. I mean, when I'm rolling empty with a reefer trailer and just cruising like 60, 65 miles an hour, I'm getting like 13 miles a gallon out of that situation. So it doesn't really hurt me. I'm easily over 10 empty. So, I can do it. So the way it worked out is we got customer freight in Maryland, and instead of pulling a 40,000 pound load out of Virginia for the same exact price, I said, hey, what we got coming out of Maryland? And they said, we got a load coming out of there, picks up, going straight back to Minnesota. For me, that's a no-brainer. We go to Maryland, we get the load going back to Minnesota. 200 miles of that ride back is empty, and that helps fuel economy. So that's what we did. Multi-stop to Virginia, and then 1 pick, 1 drop, Maryland, right back to Minnesota. And that load, it felt like pulling the same load out and back, because it was negative 10 degrees and 31,000 pounds. So going out, we were negative 10, 30,000. Coming back, we were negative 10, 31,000. Basically same load both ways. And that load paid $3,000. So there you go. That was the 2 loads for the week. They went pretty smooth. I will say the big thing that really changed, or really stuck out on this week was reefer fuel. I was pulling a slightly older trailer, like a 2012, and it was hot and humid outside, and it was sweating that trailer like you would not believe. So the reason I bring that up is my advice to you guys that want to buy a reefer trailer is if you're going to be pulling a lot of frozen food, buy the newest trailer you can afford would be my recommendation, because I can tell a big difference between when I'm pulling like a 2012 and like a 2017, 2018. Most of 2021, I pulled the same trailer, which was a 2020 model, and I could tell, pretty good difference even in that. Like brand new trailer, year or two old, you're looking at like, ballparking it, you're saying like $60 to $70 a day. You get into that 20, like 4 or 5, 6-year-old trailer, you're looking more like, $90 a day, but you get that 10-year-old trailer, and I mean, it's consistently $100, $120 a day. That adds up over the week. So now I kind of did have one day of relief in there because I got unloaded in Virginia early in the morning, and then I didn't get reloaded until the next day. So I only ran the reefer trailer for like 6 days on this. But just food for thought. If you're going to be pulling reefer and you're going to buy your own trailer, try to buy the newest trailer you can afford. Because it really will pay for itself. It's like buying a new aerodynamic truck versus, an older truck that, is not aerodynamic. The aerodynamic truck can pay for itself just on fuel economy. And I think that's kind of what I'm seeing with these refrigerated trailers as well. But that's the PSA for the day. Let's get back to talking about the money of the week. Here we go. Let's break it down. $9,500 total for the week. Back-to-back $9,000 weeks. I'm just having a little bit of trouble breaking that 10 mark again. Used to, 10 was the holy grail for me. It was like if I broke 10,000. Let's go back to like 2019, 2020-ish. To break that 10,000 mark was a big deal for me. I would do it just a few times a year, and they would be really, really like run hard, like everything lined up type weeks, and then the end of 2020, 2021, it seemed like every time I left the house, I didn't even have to try. It was, high 9,000s, 10,000. I go back and look at the weekly recaps. I think I had some like, $12, $13, $14,000 weeks. And it's like, now we're back to that, like, we working trying to break 10. It's not easy. But I'll take back-to-back 9s. This week is very profitable right here. I need some more of these, to be honest about it. But $9,500 total for the week. $7,600 for me, my 80%. And that was on 2,877 all miles. 271 of that was empty Deadhead miles. 2,660 loaded miles. That is a 10% Deadhead, which is fine with me as long as we're, I don't like going over 10%, but honestly, I don't care because it's just a number. It's just a reference. I like it to be as low as possible. But then again, it's just a number. It doesn't define my week because, I try to make the best decisions with the information I have at the time. That way I don't have to go back and regret doing things because I'm like, well, at the time, that was the best decision. So, I throw the Deadhead in there just as a reference. That's $3.30 a mile, all miles. Every mile the truck turned, $3.30 a mile. Love that. $2.64 a mile, my 80%. $3.57 a loaded mile this week. So some good money in there. Now let's go over the cost. Let's break down the variable cost. I don't go over the fixed cost. At the end, you'll hear me say this is the money left to do what I have to do with. And that's where you would plug in all your fixed costs, paying yourself, your insurances, your truck payments, all that fun stuff. It's all part of being a business owner. Just the way it is. So $2,101 on diesel. Check out that Mudflap link down there. Pinned comments also in the description. I have a how-to video if you need that. There it is, $2,101. It's a big money week for me in fuel. Fuel's going back up, creeping back up. But this is also the money I bought, not the money I used. Fuel is going back up, so right before I got to the house, I knew I was going to be taking a few days off after I delivered that last load. So I just went ahead and topped it off on the way back into the house. Glad I did. Fuel's about 30 cents higher just in a couple days. It's already went back up 30 cents on me, so glad I did that. And then let's talk about reefer fuel for the week. Probably my biggest reefer fuel week ever. $512 in reefer fuel. Man alive. Crazy. $46 on DEF. I did not get to buy DEF at my discounted price that I normally get it at a couple stops there in Wisconsin. I just bought it at I think I bought it at Quick Trip, like $4 a gallon, so no real discounts there. $338 in tolls. I was able to go around the Indiana toll road on the way out and the way back. I'm glad the loads had enough time on it to do that, which is nice, because that's like an extra $116, $117 I saved just by going around that. So that's good. And I paid $25 for parking this week. No scales. I didn't scale either one of those loads because my truck has scales, and the trailer, that older trailer I was pulling, had the right way on it. So, it's nice. I dialed it in on a load I had the week before. I had like a 43,000 pound load. I put that on the cat scale. I, calibrated my right way, went on about my business. So no scales. Total variable cost $3,022. Very expensive week, but I'm leaving out the next week with a full tank of fuel. So, not too mad at that. Paying it forward a little bit. Sometimes it's rough at the time, but most of the time I'm glad I did it after I did it. $7,600, my 80% minus the $3,022 leaves me $4,578. Now I do 20 cents a mile on maintenance cost. I round that up to the nearest $50, which makes that $600, which leaves me $3,978 left to do what I have to do with. So $39.78. That's a good end to the week. Fuel costs for the week, 73 cents a mile. Fuel costs for the week because I filled up on the way home. Now, at the end of the month, subscribe to this channel, and at the end of the month, I will, or you'll be able to see me do monthly fuel costs. So, some weeks when I don't buy a lot of fuel, it makes my fuel costs like really low. And then like a week like this, 73 cents, that's pretty high for me for an average mile per, fuel per mile cost. So I'll do a monthly one at the end of the month to kind of give you a better idea of what the month was. Because, you have fuel going up, fuel going down, then you have, me buying fuel at the end of the week. It's hard to get it this consistent. So I feel like a monthly one will give you a more consistent picture of what we're dealing with here. But that's weekly recap, guys. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I appreciate it. Made it to 15,000 subscribers, 3 million views on the channel now. It's madness. It's madness. I never thought it would get to this point, but I do appreciate everybody helping get me there. And come join me for a live show. I think those are a lot of fun. Hang out with me. Try to do a couple of those a week. But if not, I get it. We're all busy people, but I'm out of here, guys. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe, leave comments, watch one of these other videos if you want to learn more about trucking and the finances of trucking. And until later, take care of each other, and remember, people are more important than trucking.